Clarice lived in a small village called Cedro, where beauty pageants were a big deal. Clarice, a 20-year-old girl with long, wavy black hair and a kind smile. Every year, the village held a grand beauty pageant, and everyone seemed to be obsessed with it. Clarice's mother, Gloria, was no exception. She constantly encouraged Clarice to join and win the pageant. One sunny afternoon, Gloria came rushing into the living room, holding a flyer. "Clarice, look, the beauty pageant is coming up. You have to join this year." Clarice sighed. "Mom, I don't know. I don't really like those things. But you're so beautiful. You'll definitely win," Gloria insisted. Clarice didn't want to disappoint her mother, so she reluctantly agreed. She spent the next few weeks preparing for the pageant, practicing her walk, smile, and answers to potential questions. As the pageant day approached, the pressure mounted. Clarice's friends, Anna and Tina, tried to help her prepare. Anna had short, straight hair and wore a pink dress, while Tina had curly brown hair and wore a green shirt and jeans. They practiced with Clarice in her backyard, which was filled with blooming flowers and a small vegetable garden. "Remember to smile and walk confidently," Anna said, demonstrating a pageant walk. Tina added, "And don't forget to be yourself, Clarice. You're amazing just the way you are." Clarice smiled weakly. "Thanks, guys. I'm just so nervous." In addition to the pageant preparations, Clarice's mother insisted on using various beauty products. Skin whitening creams, face masks, and makeup cluttered their bathroom counter. Clarice felt overwhelmed by the constant pressure to look perfect. One morning, Clarice stood in front of the mirror, trying to apply a face mask. She looked at her reflection and sighed. "This is so silly," she muttered to herself. Her younger brother, Timmy, who was 8 years old with messy hair and a mischievous grin, peeked into the bathroom and laughed. "You look like a green monster, Clarice." Clarice couldn't help but laugh. "Thanks, Timmy. I needed that." The day of the beauty pageant finally arrived. Clarice felt a mix of excitement and dread. She wore a sparkling blue gown that her mother had picked out for her. As she arrived at the venue, she saw many other contestants, all looking nervous and glamorous. Backstage, Clarice met a contestant named Joy, who had short, spiky hair and wore a red dress. Joy looked at Clarice and said, "Hey, don't be nervous. Just have fun out there." Clarice smiled, feeling a bit more at ease. "Thanks, Joy. You too." One of the segments of the pageant was the talent show. Clarice decided to showcase her singing talent. She had always loved singing, but had never performed in front of such a large audience. As she stepped onto the stage, her heart raced. She took a deep breath and began to sing her favorite song. The audience was silent, captivated by her beautiful voice. When she finished, there was a moment of silence before the crowd erupted in applause. Clarice felt a rush of joy and relief. She had done it. Next came the question and answer segment. Clarice was nervous about this part. She walked to the center of the stage, her heart pounding. The host, Mr. Santos, smiled at her and asked, "Clarice, what do you think is the most important quality in a person?" Clarice thought for a moment and then replied, "I believe the most important quality is kindness. It's important to be kind to others and to yourself." The audience applauded, and Mr. Santos smiled. "A wonderful answer, Clarice." Just as Clarice thought everything was going well, disaster struck. During the final walk, she tripped over her gown and stumbled. She managed to catch herself, but her cheeks burned with embarrassment. The audience gasped, and she heard a few giggles. She took a deep breath and continued her walk, holding her head high. She could see her mother in the audience, giving her a thumbs up and mouthing, "You can do it." Clarice smiled and finished her walk with confidence, despite the mishap. After what felt like hours, the results were finally announced. Clarice stood on stage, her heart pounding. The host announced the winners for the different categories, and finally, it was time for the overall winner. And the winner of this year's beauty pageant is Clarice. Mr. Santos announced. Clarice couldn't believe it. She felt a mix of joy and disbelief as she walked to the center of the stage to accept her crown and sash. The audience erupted in applause, and Clarice felt a tear slip down her cheek. She had done it. After the pageant, Clarice went home and reflected on the experience. She sat in her cozy bedroom, looking at her crown and sash. She felt proud of herself, but she also realized something important. All the beauty products and preparations hadn't made her feel beautiful. It was her confidence and kindness that had shown through. She decided to talk to her mother about it. "Mom, I appreciate everything you did to help me win, but I realized that true beauty comes from within. It's about being kind and confident, not just about how you look." Gloria smiled and hugged her. "I'm so proud of you, Clarice. You're right. True beauty does come from within." In the following days, Clarice felt more at peace. She still took care of herself, but she didn't stress about looking perfect. She focused more on being kind and confident. Her friends noticed the change and admired her even more. One day, she saw a little girl named Mia, who was about 8 years old with pigtails, looking sad in the park. Clarice approached her and asked, "What's wrong, Mia?" Mia looked up with teary eyes and said, "The other kids said I'm not pretty because I don't have fair skin." Clarice knelt down and took Mia's hands. "Mia, you are beautiful just the way you are. True beauty comes from being kind and confident. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." Mia smiled and hugged Clarice. "Thank you, Clarice. You're the best." Clarice felt a warm glow inside. She had learned an important lesson and was now passing it on to others. Thank you for watching Clarice's story. Remember, true beauty comes from within. It's about being kind and confident, not just about how you look. Have you ever felt pressured to look a certain way? Share your story in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming and inspiring stories. Your experiences can help others who might be going through similar challenges. Together, we can build a supportive and understanding community.